Also note the temperatures here. They have dropped throughout the morning. They're not moving up. If anything, they'll be moving down. And with temperatures already in the teens and the winds as strong as they are, the wind chill, even in the afternoon, is going to be brutal. Single digits dropping to some below zero numbers overnight. All right, allow me to geek out for a moment and revisit something we were talking about earlier this morning, because I'm encouraging you, while you're sharing all of your great winter weather photos, a fun thing to do is actually, if the snow is falling, try to capture a snowflake. Maybe it's only on your sleeve and you can get a good picture of it and see the different structures of the snowflake. It's always fun to check it out. But Fox 5's Kevin Stewart sent me this picture earlier today from Dahlonega when he was out there, and he was questioning, why did the snow have sort of this lint or insulation kind of texture to it? And this is just an interesting example of how the temperature and the humidity from the cloud through different levels of the atmosphere ultimately affects the structure of the snowflake and what you get on the ground. So we typically see those classic snowflake shapes. Those are called dendrites. Those are going to be the brighter shades that you see in here. But you see these little lines here in the snow picture that he sent me? Those are needles and columns. And so those are kind of mixed in, and that requires some drier air to make those form. We've talked a lot about this being a drier, powdery type of snow, and that's why it's giving it sort of a different texture here, allowing it to blow around, and thankfully not allowing it to really accumulate much on tree limbs to where we have to worry about that causing power outages. On the flip side, though, the wind could continue to create a few scattered power outages here and there. Here's a closer view of the snow in motion, that band that's been heavier from eastern Gwinnett County, now dipping down into Morgan and Putnam counties. There's a little break right there. And then we've got the heavier bands still ongoing here out to the west. Notice this right here into North Fulton County. We're going to watch this snow start to fill back in. Some of these areas that really feel like they've missed out so far, there is more on the way, which will keep us under our winter storm warning until 1 a.m. Sunday. Winter weather advisory, that will actually wrap up at 7 o'clock this evening, only because we're expecting that snow will taper off a little bit earlier in those locations. But we're still on top of the changes out there for you. We'll bring you another update in just a few. It's Tom and Alex.
Joanne, thanks so much. We're starting to see snowfall right here in Metro Atlanta.
Gosh, it's about time. I know we've been waiting for this. Deidre Dukes is at Piedmont Park. Deidre, good to see you.
Good to see you too. Good morning, Alex and Tom. Well, I tell you what, we still have people out and about, even though, as Joanne said, we have seen temperatures drop out here within the past half hour or so. And boy, the wind has really picked up. You can see a family.
The wind chills will continue to crash even lower, and they are already down to 2. That's what it feels like, 2 above zero in additional snowfall. Now, the visibility side of things, in some cases, the visibility plummets to almost 0 or only 1 mile. This is not the final word, though, because any little burst of heavier snow or some of those smaller, heavier snow bands that I pointed out on the west side, those can also really reduce visibility. It's just one more good reason not to be out on the roadways if you can help it. Now, the cold weather is really what we're shifting our attention to once the snow comes to an end. Obviously cold enough to leave this snow sticking around. It's not going anywhere tonight. Whatever is on the ground is still going to be there for most of Sunday, because a lot of areas may never even get above freezing. And if you do, it's not going to be for very long, because here's how we're going to start out Sunday with some wind chill values that could be 10 or 15 below zero. That's why we've got this extreme cold warning in effect. A couple things to keep in mind: the duration of the cold. And I know Alex Forbes has mentioned a few times that really makes it more susceptible for pipes to burst. If you haven't taken precautions yet, go ahead and do it. That's not something you want to have to contend with. Leave faucets dripping if you have to, because our best chance of seeing above freezing temperatures area wide is not until Monday afternoon. Let's go through this right here. The combination of temperature and wind chill, it'll drop into the teens tonight in the Atlanta area, but we wake up around sunrise to numbers near zero, some sub-zero numbers, even farther south. Eatonton could have a 6-degree wind chill first thing in the morning. So naturally the question is, when do we really thaw out? Well, we do get an opportunity next week. Tomorrow, not so much, but we will have sunshine out tomorrow, and that's going to start to melt through things, knowing that these snow showers are going to taper off from west to east by late afternoon and early this evening. So even overnight tonight, the clouds are going to start to clear, which will leave us not only sunny for the second half of the weekend, but also Monday on Groundhog Saturday. Now notice we're still below freezing to start that day, but we'll bounce back up to 48 in the afternoon. We've really lost sight of what is normal for temperatures this time of year. That would be mid-50s. We have that in our extended forecast. We'll get there for Tuesday and Wednesday, so that should mean we're warm enough for only rain with that next system for the middle of next week. Tom and Alex.
All right, Joanne, thanks so much. Before we leave you here on this extended version of Good Day Atlanta on a Saturday morning, want to take you live outside for another look at conditions as we track this wintry storm that is passing through our area yet again this weekend as we take a live look at Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport. So far, no reports of any significant delays out there.
The baton over from Alex Forbes and Joanne Feldman, giving the floor now to Jonathan Stacy. Good to see you.
Good afternoon to you, Alex, and good afternoon to you, Tom. For many of you, you have seen flurries, and for some of you, you have seen the accumulation of snowfall over the past 6 hours. Here's the good news. If you're still wanting to see some snowfall or you want some accumulation, the window of opportunity is still there. The system was delayed by some 3 to 4 hours in it moving into North Georgia, and with that delay, we're going to experience the opportunity for snowy hills coming down here a little bit to the south of the airport at this point. For those of you in Fairburn, you should expect a pretty good dose of shower activity in the way of snow showers. All snow today. And then once you get down to US 29 there, just to the north of Noonan in Coweta County, you're getting spray. This will eventually flow into Fayette County. For those of you there in Tyrone, all the way down to Peachtree City, and then up next would likely be Fayetteville. Likely a couple squalls inching closer to the airport. We'll have to check that camera momentarily to see if we're getting any ground signatures there. We're going to continue to see this activity fester across the area as we go throughout the afternoon and into the early evening for some, especially out east. So if you have not gotten snow yet, and I know there's a section of DeKalb County that is waiting on some accumulation to actually occur there are some bands out to the west that could possibly slide over your neighborhoods before this is all said and done. We'll track that as we get deeper into the hour. Alex, Tom.
Okay, Jonathan, we will check back with you very soon. We appreciate you watching our entire area for us. We do want to focus on some live images now and get a sense of what things are really doing in real time. So let's turn things over to Newton County.
And that is where we find Christopher King. We've had a changing of the guard, Christopher, with our reporters. You are providing perspective from there. It doesn't look too bad where you're standing.
Well, Tom and Alex, I really want your assignment today. So far, it's just really cold out here, and so far, so good. Cold. For now, we are live in Covington. Christopher King, Fox 5 News.
Yeah, Christopher, we appreciate that. And just the realism, you know, we have been seeing not much in the more metro section, but when you look north of Metro Atlanta,